Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Brian here. I'm gonna do another DVD collection video for you guys. Just a bunch of random titles I've picked up over the last couple years, I guess. Maybe just a year. Who knows? I buy stuff all the time. So first title here is a classic. Kind of like an anthology. Like a urban legend anthology here of campfire tales. Definitely really enjoy this film. You get Amy Smart, Ron Livingston, Christine Taylor, and James Marsden. I can't recommend this one enough. It's definitely, this is from '98, if I'm not mistaken. It's in Roman numerals, so I believe this is from '98. But this is definitely a good anthology. I definitely recommend it. Up next is a film from 1985, which I haven't watched yet. Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. I know this got a Blu-ray release like a year or two ago. I'm not familiar with this movie, but it was recommended from somebody, so I picked it up. It says it's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom meets Mountain of the Cannibal God, so that's definitely interesting, so I'll check it out eventually. This is the Shriek Show DVD release from 2004. Up next is a bunch of Big Lots pickups that I got. I haven't watched any of these yet, so we have The Hillside Strangler with C. Thomas Howell. We have an, what is this? This is a Cantonese film called Diary. I love some Asian horror, so I'm trying to expand my horizons with that. So we have Dead Sea, a creature feature, serpentine creature in the ocean. Doesn't say where though, but definitely interesting there. Got a midnight movie double feature of Count Yorga Vampire and Return of Count Yorga. This was like under $2. We have Bring Me the Head of the Machine Gun Woman. This looks like this is just about a mob boss and putting a bounty on a local mercenary, so figured it would be just a good one-time watch. We got a snapper case here of Waiting for Guffman. This is a Warner Brothers release from 1996. Haven't seen it, but it stars Christopher Guest, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Parker Posey, Fred Willard, Louis Arquette, and Bob Balaban. Another Christopher Guest directed film, so figured I'd watch that. Cartoon here from my childhood. I used to watch it all the time. I forget what channel it was on, but this is the Shout Factory release of The Adventures of Tintin Season 1. This TV series lasted from 91 through 93. And then they made a movie a couple years back, so I never watched that one though. We have a witches type movie called The Coven. I haven't watched this one yet. It looks interesting though. We have another Scream Factory release here of The Devil's Dolls. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, mostly bad, but I like to pick up these Scream Factory IFC Midnight titles, so give that a watch sometime soon. I heard this one was really bad, but it's a Dollar Tree title. The Girl in the Crawl Space. Yeah, it looks pretty bad from just looking on the back of it. So we've got a comedy here called Happy Yummy Chicken. This is about a woman. A woman sits in a restaurant eating chicken for 2 months, inspiring two men to make a musical about the insane things we do for love in musical theater. So it's probably bad, but I picked it up. Taryn Manning is in this, so I'll give it a watch. We've got another Scream Factory release here of Jackals. I have seen this. It was okay. I had to go back and watch it again. It's got Stephen Dorff, Deborah Unger, Ben Sullivan, Chelsea Ricketts. I remember it being okay, not anything spectacular, but I'll watch it again soon. We have a family film here called Kids from 62F. I think this is about like aliens or something. Yeah, aliens. And this looks weird, but I'll give it a watch. Why not? I heard this movie was really bad because it says The Shining meets Insidious on the back. No, I doubt it. I really doubt it. It is called The Last House on Cemetery Lane. It just looks cheap, and yeah, so it was $1. Excuse me. It was $1, so you know, whatever. I've seen this one. It was pretty meh in my opinion, but again, I'll watch it one more time just to make sure. Ouija 3, also known as Charlie Charlie. It's about a haunted house owner inviting a group of teenagers to play a terrifying game known as Charlie Charlie. Overnight in many attractions his house has to offer. While the game is meant to be a mere spectacle of spooky fun, it soon turns into a true nightmare, leaving the teenagers and owner battling for their lives. Yeah, it's not great, but this one was pretty decent in my opinion. The Rake, like a family curse about some creature living inside this girl's head. At a young age, Ashley and her brother witnessed the brutal murder of their parents, and she's still convinced that it wasn't someone but something. And this takes place during Christmas time, so take it if what you will to be a Christmas horror film or not. It was okay. I just upgraded this one so I can get rid of this Artisan DVD now. Deep Star 6. Sean S. Cunningham film. Creature feature. It's pretty cool. I remember it. So you have a random, I think this is a musical. No. This is just a classic movie with Clark Gable, Spencer Tracy, Claudette Colbert, and Hedy Lamarr, Boomtown. This is a Warner Brothers release from 1940. So I'm trying to expand my classic film category. So there's that. Here is a film written by Neil Simon from 1978 called California Suite. Stars Alan Alda, Michael Caine, Bill Cosby, Jane Fonda, Walter Matthau, Richard Pryor, Maggie Smith, and Elaine May. So it's a pretty stacked cast here. But it looks like a comedy. Takes place in Beverly Hills, at a Beverly Hills hotel. I'll give it a watch. We have a Michael Keaton film here from 1988, I'm sorry. Clean and Sober. Also starring Kathy Baker, Morgan Freeman, Emmett Walsh, and Tate Donovan. This is Michael Keaton's first dramatic role, so figured I'd pick it up and give it a watch. I like Michael Keaton. He's a good actor. I got a Jerry Lewis film here of The Disorderly Orderly from 1964. Don't know too much about this film. I think it looks familiar though from what I've seen on the back. He wants to be a doctor, but that's not exactly the perfect career choice when you're hopelessly squeamish. So, just a typical turn your brain off comedy. We have Gregory Hines in Eve of Destruction. I've always wanted to check this one out, from 1991. He's the only one I recognize in here, because it only credits 2 people on the back here. So, I'll give it a watch. This movie was funny, in my opinion. The Family Man with Nicolas Cage. Jeremy Piven, Don Cheadle, and Taya Leone. That's how I say her name. Yeah, I remember it being funny. So it's been a while since I've seen it. This one too, Hannibal Rising from 2006. Don't really remember anyone in this film though, but obviously the screenplay was written by Thomas Harris, of course. This is like a prequel, if I remember correctly. We have another snapper case here of a Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell film called Swing Shift from 1984. This is a Jonathan Demme film, also starring Fred Ward, Ed Harris, Christine Laddie, and looks like a decent comedy. Actually, no, it's not a comedy. This is a war film, war movie, sort of. I've never seen it. Figured I'd pick it up just because of the cast. We have the 1958 movie, The Vikings here, with Kirk Douglas, Tony Curtis, Janet Leigh, Ernest Borgnine, James Donald, and Alexander Knox. Kirk Douglas actually produced this film as well. Haven't seen it, but it's about 2 hours long. We have a family drama here called You Can Count on Me. I picked it up because it stars Laura Linney, Mark Ruffalo, Matthew Broderick, and John Tenney, and Rory Culkin. This is from 2000. It's a comedy drama about the joys and conflicts of a brother and sister who lead opposite lives but have an unbreakable bond since being orphaned years earlier. So it's a feel-good drama comedy. So figured I'd pick that up. Ooh, why is this stuck? Got 3 stuck together here. Oh, that's not good. Sorry, guys. We have another snapper case of The Great Race here. This is from 1965. Great cast though. It's got Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood, directed by Blake Edwards, music by Henry Mancini. It looks, I heard it was a decent film. We have the original series collection 1 of Dark Shadows. This has about 40 episodes on it from the original show. That's weird. Yeah, from 1967. Everyone knows about the movie. Excuse me. With Johnny Depp. But I picked this up. It is 4 discs worth, so figured I'd check that out. Next up, we have a 6-movie collection here of Mental Maniacs. We get Drawing Blood from 2004, The Crawl Space from 2005, Before I Die from 2005, Mayhem Motel from 2005, High Desert from 1993, and Matthew from 1989. Kind of a weird compilation here, but I mean, it is Mill Creek, so, and Mill Creek back in the day used to just release a lot of just random stuff on compilations, but, you know, 2-disc set, both discs look exactly the same. But they've gotten better over the years. We have another Sean S. Cunningham film here of A Stranger Is Watching, starring Rip Torn, Kate Mulgrew, and James Naughton. Music by Lalo, I can't ever say the guy's name, Lalo Schifrin. He did the Mission Impossible theme, the original Mission Impossible theme, amongst other things, but I haven't watched this one yet. This is from 1982. We have a 20 movie pack here of Strange Tales. Just a bunch of random movies from all over the place. You got some from the 60s, the 40s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the and then the 30s as well. But here is what's everything that's on the compilation here. 4-disc set. So I guess there's like 5 movies on each disc. Yeah. And that's what it looks like on the inside. I haven't watched any of them yet. And then we have this classic sci-fi ultimate collection here with a bunch of creature features. Tarantula, the Mole People, the Incredible Shrinking Man, the Monolith Monsters, and Monster on Campus. And this is a 3-disc set, so you get 2 on 1, 2 on 1, and then Monster on Campus by itself. We have a comedy, a feel-good comedy here of Indian Summer, starring Alan Arkin, Matt Craven, Diane Lane, Bill Paxton, Elizabeth Perkins, Kevin Pollak, Vincent Spano, Julie Warner, and Kimberly Williams. I have not watched this one yet, but I'll give it a watch soon. We have The Night Before, starring Keanu Reeves, Lori Loughlin, Teresa Saldana, and Trinidad Silva. This is from 1988. This was about around the same time that Keanu did the first Bill and Ted movie, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't watched this one yet either. We have the DVD of The Wind, Demons of the Prairie. This is a Western horror film. This was put out in 2019. I don't recognize anybody in the cast though, so looks like an interesting watch. Trying to expand my Western genre. We have The Kitchen here with Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, Elizabeth Moss, Domhnall Gleeson, Brian Darcy James, James Badge Dale, Bill Camp, Common, and Margot Martindale. I haven't watched it yet. We have a 1988 film here called Tapeheads, starring John Cusack and Tim Robbins. That's all the credits on here. Says features appearances by Don Cornelius, Connie Stevens, Stiv Bators, Martha Quinn, Ted Nugent, Bob Goldthwait, Susan Tyrrell, Jello Biafra, Dougie Fresh, and Michael Neesmith. So you got some good music in there. It's a it's a typical 80s comedy put up by Anchor Bay. I need to upgrade this one. This is Ken Russell's film called Gothic here. This is probably really bad transfer from the film. Was put out in '86. This particular DVD doesn't say when it came out, but I know for sure that it's going to be bad because just look at that artwork. It looks pretty bad. And I think I bought this new. Yeah, I bought this new and the disc was not good. It's got some it's got that big scratch in the middle of it. So yeah, I bought it new, still sealed and everything, and that's what I see inside. Luckily it was only like $1, so it's not a big deal. We have a horror thriller here from 2017 called Among Us. It says after the mysterious death of their young son, a couple flees to a remote house to escape the unrelenting haunting following them, only to discover the entity is still very much a part of their lives. So, sounds interesting. This is a Gravitas Ventures release. I got another Gravitas Ventures release here. This is a suspense thriller called An American in Texas. I don't recognize anybody in this film though. No. This takes place in the year 1990. It's just about a group of punk rock kids. They see their band Surgeon General's warning as their ticket out of a small town Texas as 1990 comes to a close. The band drops acid, plays gigs, and carries out calculated acts of vandalism around town to the television soundtrack of 24-hour newscasts about Operation Desert Storm and devotion to country at any cost. So it takes place during that particular time in America. So it seemed interesting, but I don't know. We'll see. We have this movie that kind of looks like a ripoff of Coraline called Caroline and the Magic Potion. It's one of those Dollar Tree titles that I found that looked interesting, but you can definitely tell it's like a ripoff of Coraline. But hey, kids might like it, right? Up next is a film called Death Squad, starring Danny Glover, Daryl Hannah, Rutger Hauer, Michael Madsen, and Stephen Baldwin. Good cast, but it looks pretty cheap to me. It says in the year 2047, a rebel war agent is forced to go against an oppressive government to expose their war crimes. And then to avoid capture, he must face a vicious death squad of mercenaries who are prepared to sacrifice their lives rather than see him get out alive. So, yeah, good cast. Figured I'd give it a watch. I picked this up from my brother a while back. Help I Shrunk the Family. It's not one of those cheap Disney ripoffs. I found a copy of Night World with Jason London and Robert Englund. I heard this movie wasn't very good either, but I'll give it a watch. We have, this is another Nazis, I guess, zombie film called Panzer. It's probably not good. I found the complete series of Square Pegs, starring Sarah Jessica Parker and Amy Linker. I vaguely remember this being on TV, but for $1, I definitely wanted to pick it up. 19 episodes, 2-disc set. I think I have this on, yeah, I do have this on Blu-ray, so I picked this up on DVD as well. Zombie Fight Club. I already went over that in the previous video. We have a Jurassic Park ripoff called The Dinosaur Project. It looks so cheesy and so really bad on the back. I got an 8-film set here of horror. Let's see all the titles there. And then another 8-film thriller set here. And I don't have any of them except for I have Brotherhood, Are You In or Out on Blu-ray somewhere. I picked up Cruel Peter at a flea market a while back. I heard it wasn't very good either, but it was like $1, so I figured I'd pick it up. We have Close Calls here from Scream Team Releasing. I haven't watched this one yet. I got a classic one here, guys. Redneck Zombies, another trauma film from 1998. I remember it being really, really cheesy and really stupid, but I'll give it another watch eventually. Oh, I had to pick this one up. Spoiler, Joe and Marie, I know they watched this movie, but I figured I'd pick it up for myself. Dead Don't Die in Dallas. It just seems so silly to me, but I definitely want to watch it anyways. We got The Institute with James Franco, Eric Roberts, Josh Duhamel, Laurie Singer, Scott Hayes. Directed by Pamela Romanowski and James Franco, so that's interesting. I'll give that a watch at some point. We have a serial killer movie here called Johnny Frank Garrett's Last Word. I Will Live in Your Nightmares. I guess he is executed for committing a murder, which he has always maintained his innocence. He leaves behind a cursed letter in which he promises to take vengeance on all those connected to his trial. So this is definitely like a revenge from the grave type movie. We have a drama here called Regen Rat. Seemed pretty interesting. It's just about like a bunch of this guy's trying to make a fresh start. He has no friends, no money, and divorced parents. Living on opposite ends of the world and offering no help. With nowhere else to go, he heads back to his old stomping grounds to a place nicknamed the Region. Once there, he settles back in with former friends in their less than motivated lifestyle, skipping classes, smoking weed. He meets a girl, a party girl. He gets hooked, even though she sort of has a boyfriend with a really bad attitude. So it just sounds like a really bad situation that he's in. We have a film called All Light Will End. I watched this one. It was okay. Wasn't my favorite, but it stars Sarah Butler from the I Spit on Your Grave remake. So I figured I wanted to check it out. It was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular, though. I wouldn't recommend it. We have another suspense thriller here called Winter Ridge. This is about a murder investigation and a manhunt for a serial killer. And there's other things going on. This guy's wife was in a car accident, and she's in a coma. And then he's dealing with that for 7 months, and then he throws himself into a new investigation to keep his mind off his wife's situation. So this is as he desperately searches for the killer, Barnes' doubts increase. The motives of the crimes for the killer he is chasing. So it's kind of like, he's got a lot going on there. I have this is like the second season of Days That Shook the World. People were finding this at the first volume at Dollar Tree, but I did not. I finally found season 2. It just goes about a bunch of like different events that have happened in the world. Like when the Hindenburg blew up, the Challenger, attack on Pearl Harbor, and other things like the Oklahoma City bombing, assassination of Abraham Lincoln, and all that other crazy stuff that's happened in our history. My brother picked this up too. This is that movie about Natalie Holloway. She took a class trip to Aruba and she disappeared, never to be found again. So that was pretty sad. But give that a watch soon. We have him. His gift could be a curse. It's about a kid trapped in limbo between 2 new homes and his parents are getting divorced. Says his behavior is also triggered by something else, a primal struggle to continue the terrifying secret of a supernatural power inherited from his grandfather. So it's kind of a weird film. Well, I think this is actually a BBC short series because it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. So it doesn't say it's from the TV, but I think it might be a TV show. It's only on 1 disc, but quite long for a movie. We have the Ridley Scott film All the Money in the World, starring Michelle Williams, Christopher Plummer, Mark Wahlberg. Haven't watched it yet, but I heard it was pretty decent. It's about the kidnapping of a 16-year-old John Paul Getty III and the desperate attempt for his devoted mother to convince his billionaire grandfather to pay the ransom. So, thought that was interesting. I have season 1 and 2 of Bitten, so I just need season 3. I have season 1 of Mork and Mindy. I love Robin Williams. I have this Asian film called The Piper. Yes, it's kind of like about the Pied Piper and the rats and all that. And I have Zombie Massacre 2, Reich of the Dead, another Nazi zombie film. We have a 4-movie collection here of Dead and Rotting. We get Dead and Rotting, haven't seen that one. The Bone Stutter. Ozone I have seen, and I have it on a Blu-ray. And then Bloodletting I've seen, it was okay. Yeah, that one was interesting. It's about tracking serial killers, even though the people tracking the serial killers are in fact serial killers. It's so weird. We have another 4-movie set here. It's called Even Worse Than Evil. You get Insaniac, Last House on Hell Street, Phobias, and The Seekers. Not really thinking any of these would be great, but we'll check them out anyway. So that's all the DVDs in this box. I do have a small stack of Blu-rays though, so I'll go over those real quick. We got One Must Fall. I heard that one was pretty good. It's about a crime scene cleanup crew that's on the job that turns deadly when the killer had never left the scene of the crime. We have Tremors 7, Shrieker Island. Haven't watched that one yet. We've got Corporate Animals. Haven't watched that one yet. Gretel and Hansel with the slipcover. This movie was alright. It's on in the theater. Jojo Rabbit. Haven't watched it yet. The True History of the Kelly Gang. Haven't watched it. Dark Summer. We have The Eclipse. Kill Katie Malone. Classic Disney, Lady and the Tramp. Behaving Badly. Serious Moonlight. We have a random CD in here of Mucky Pup Now. It was a decent thrash metal band, kind of. We have Motherless Brooklyn, Gangster Squad, Silent Running, Pinocchio. What Just Happened, and Love the Coopers. So that is everything I have for you for this box. I will continue this collection of sharing my DVD and Blu-ray collection. I'll make another video maybe tomorrow or later in the week, but Okay, guys, have a great rest of your week. See you guys in my next video. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye.